not work for my people? No, it doesn't stop that.
Okay.
It doesn't stop anyone.
One of the main debates that is going to come to Parliament is the one on the finance bill.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the general thoughts? I know you have perhaps interacted with the document. Mm-hmm. What are your general thoughts on this document? Because I will tell you there are countless number of groups that have, one, threatened to go to court after it goes to Parliament. There are quite a number that have done submissions who are also saying there are clauses in there that they deem as very punitive and needs to be readdressed. As a member of Parliament, and the last budget, 2023-2024, you voted with the government.
I don't remember how I voted. I don't remember how I voted.
The reason why I'm saying you voted,
yes,
unless you abstained, because the people who didn't vote for the government walked out and others opposed it publicly.
I was away. I
you
remember
away, so you didn't vote?
No, I didn't vote.
Was it convenient?
No, I remember I was out of the
on
country.
duty?
Yes, I
on
was
duty.
on duty. Yes.
Okay.
I was not there.
It was said as very punitive then. This one is said to be double punitive.
Let me explain to you something.
Yes.
You know, the beauty of the new constitution is that Kenyans are able to interact with the budget. Before, you know, initially we used to wait for the finance minister to come with that bag. I don't know why they still carry it.
The briefcase.
The briefcase till today. You know, those are funny traditions that we still have in the car, flower, the red one that they have. But anyway, Kenyans are able to interact with the budget before it comes actually for the final. Actually, I don't now see the reason for the minister to come and read. Because Parliament even debate, they approve, and such that it's just a formality for the minister. Yeah, for the minister. It's no longer exciting. You know, I remember in the village then when the budget was being read,
everyone
our parents
sat down
with like a small Sanyo radio and they would listen. You know, but also Kenyans are now very well exposed. This is a bill. The finance bill is a bill. What happens to a bill? A bill, there are things that can be very good. There are things that can be punitive. And any member of the public, through public participation, can give their views. Once they give their views to the committee will bring the bill to Parliament with amendments. Members of the National Assembly have a chance also to amend. So whatever is out there being debated is very healthy. That is very good that people are debating. We are listening. And the most important thing is that what will happen when we come to we cannot just say throw away the entire finance bill. But we need to listen to the people, and amendments will be done. For that one, I promise you, you will see a lot of dynamics in the amendments.
So the people's voice actually counts.
It counts.
When these public participations are done. People's voice counts.
It counts. It counts. And I'm enjoying what I am seeing, different sectors coming up. And it's a high time now the executive gets experts to listen to the people. Before such a bill comes to Parliament, so that we avoid a lot of backlash. But number two, they have opened up. You see now, the people who never used to be taxed are now being touched by the taxation. Because remember, a lot of taxations are happening to the people who are in informal sector. So what the government is doing is also now going to the informal sector. And so it's also a shocker for the people who never used to pay taxes.
Is it really because it's a shocker, or because less and less people are able to pay tax?
Well, there are people who are able to pay tax and they are evading tax.
Yes.
So it's a mixture of two. The economy has not been very good, again. So what happens when the government overtaxes? People try to look for ways to evade tax.
Not to pay it.
Not to pay it at all. So that's a difference. And so we need to be a bit careful not to force people into too many taxes. And then there are too many. I was going through the bill. There's one you should pay by date 5th, another one by 20th. So you know, you need somebody even to educate you on all these things. We need to make taxation as simple as possible. We need also to train our people. Even, you know, like when you go to the supermarket, if you have your PIN, you should be giving it out because there is a way you can be able to claim that tax back. So there are many things that are happening, and our people are now much more enlightened. That's why you can see people discussing. But most important is for us leaders to be very careful. When people raise their voices or they are concerned, how do we respond? Because there's a way I would respond to you and you understand, but there's a way I would respond to you with arrogance. Then I'll show like I do not care. Utadu.
You'll have to do what I want.
You'll have to do what I want.
At the end of the day,
so that's where we really need to look at as a parliament even as people come to do their presentation, even when we appear in the media, even when we appear in our political rallies, how are we addressing the people? But number two, are we also listening? Because listening is very important. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, if I get you right, you think there's so many taxes in there. Do you think we would address this by making what we're taxing predictable? So that at the end of the day, I know this is what the government wants for me.
Exactly, because I was listening to some people saying we have this tax called pay as you earn.
Yes.
So you are paying as you earn. Then now you're being told your vehicle, by the time you're getting insurance, you'll be paying another 2.5%.
Yeah.
Then you're being told now, because there is eco something, so the bread that you take in the morning is going to be added more tax. Are you getting it? Then you're being told, because of the batteries and everything else, taxes are going up. So even your smartphone is going up.
Yeah.
Then there's the issue of you're using your M-Pesa, mobile phone, the issue with you, even for transactions. So all these things, and you're asking one person. So I think we need to simplify it to a way that it is easier, that I know this is what expected of me. If I have a formal, like job, and I have this amount of money per month, this is what is expected. And if I pay this, then I can be able to claim, when I go to do shopping and I paid for pay as you earn, I will claim for the taxes that I was taxed when I was shopping, because there's somebody who did not pay as they earned, because they don't pay for that tax, but they went shopping. This is where the government gets the money. So there are all those dynamics that we need really to educate our people, but it's a big change. I have seen Kenyans have a lot of information.
They know what's happening.
They know
what's happening.
Yeah, they know.
So then, how would you balance this against the interest of the government to raise on-source revenue, to stop borrowing? Because part of the reason why we are in this ditch is because we are in a hole that we have been digging for a long time. And even the current government has borrowed a lot of money still. So how do you balance what you're saying, the need for on-source revenue to cater for our expenses, especially on recurrent, which is a lot, against the need for Kenyans to be educated and to have tax that is predictable? Where do you draw that line?
The government supports its projects through taxation. Every time I go or attend these functions, you hear the leaders, ourselves, having a list. My people want a road.
Exactly.
We want hospital. We want what? And then we ask, so where will this money come from? I think prudence, use of the money that we collect, is what is very important. Let us not tax our people. Then Kenyans can see us misusing the amount of money that we are taxing them. So let us prioritize and put the money where it's highly needed. For instance, if we'll tax people and when they go to our hospitals, right now we have the challenge of vaccines. If they go to the hospitals, they'll find medication. They will find doctors. They will not be on strike for a month or 2 months. Then people will be comfortable, because I know even if I pay my taxes, when I get sick, when I go to the hospital, I'll find
medicine and doctors who are paying.
Can we have CDF that gives bursary to our children? We have governor who is giving bursary to the children. We have women rep who are giving bursary to the children. We have presidential bursary. So all this money, why can't it be put in one basket? I know members of parliament will not support me, because that is what they go to the ground. They want to take a photo with a check and saying, I have given your children bursary and this is the amount of money, but that is the taxpayers' money. So if this money is put together, and then we have clear how many students we have in high school, how many cannot be able to pay, because there's a way you can be able to tell, then why can't government just settle so that our education, we say it's free primary education, but yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday, was in Kigumo, in a place called Kahumbu. I found a boy who is now in grade 8, who was crying because he has been out of school for 2 weeks because he didn't have 500 shillings that they are being asked for JSS. So when you're saying our basic education, it was then the primary education is free, now we have JSS. How have we synchronized to make sure then there's a flow, and then we can say we have taken care of education? Are we also clear with that system of JSS? What is the plan? Because those children are in now same primary school that they were in a different uniform.
And they're not being taught.
What is the exit plan? for them going to high school. So if all this money, we can be able to put it in one basket. What we like is a show. I think Kenyans, we like drama. We like, you are calling students for bursary, you are giving checks. So you get a tent that is 1 million, you get what, entertainment and everything. So you end up spending 3 million on an event to give
6 million shillings.
Exactly. So prudent use of the tax.
That is where the problem lies.
That is where it is. And prioritizing. Okay. What is our priority? Because yes, we were at a deficit. It was 800 billion, now we are at 606. I heard the Nyoro saying this afternoon. So if we have moved from 5.3 to 3.8, then what are our priority areas? Is it education, health? Then we look at maybe electricity. Let's look at where we cannot bite, a lot that we cannot be able to chew. We have to prioritize and say for this one. I remember, I think when Kibaki came, even for the government vehicles, he said we cannot be using these fuel guzzlers. I think he went for
2000
it was, exactly, it was Passat. So when you're saying you're cutting measures, don't just say it. Let the Kenyans see it's true you are cutting measures. And also let's have genuine advisors.
Okay.
Not advisors who will advise on books, but when it comes to reality, it is hurting the same people who voted for you.
Okay,
yeah.
and that's happening big time. Now, one of the realities that I think we are faced with is that we will not even meet our target for revenue collection.
We might not, because what has happened is that people now are coming up with schemes on how to evade paying taxes. So if you had 100 employees, they would say you fired 40 or 50, you pay only for 50, but you are paying them with an envelope down there.
So you're not paying tax.
So you're not paying taxes. That's why I say the government need to have really a genuine conversation and
because
find
it's
out.
Not happening.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's not happening.
But we can collect more.
Okay.
If we give, even the people who have done tax evasion. I was talking to a friend of mine. They have businesses in Thika, and were telling me the taxman has come. They have come and calculated what they had not paid from 2018.
And they're claiming it.
And they have been told, pay within 30 days. Pay within 30 days. And if you don't pay within 30 days, you're going to now have an interest on it or fine on it. So surely, is it logical? And you know how things are happening? You know how even business people are straining to do business in Kenya. After COVID coming up with the economy and how things have been happening, an election, then there was a drought, then there are floods. So we have many challenges as a country. Why can't you have a conversation with that person and say, fine, from today henceforth, make sure your taxes are clean. Then give me a formula that is comfortable for you so that you don't lay off anyone. Give me a formula that is comfortable for you, how you're going. You owe the government this amount of money? Yes. Then give me a formula that you're comfortable that per month you'll be paying. Okay. Eventually, you will collect.
But the question is, how did they get to the point that they denied government tax for 4 years? Can't you, why are you not looking at the flip side? Because
no, it's true. Yeah. But I have accepted. You have caught me.
Yes.
It's true.
So let's work on this.
Yeah, and maybe I have my reasons. Maybe I was trying to, to evade because these were the challenges. Okay.
But now we are here.
But now we are here.
What do we do?
You see, you can have maybe a company that is paying, let's assume, 5 million per month to the government. So then, if I was paying you 5 million taxes and you have told me within 30 days, if you don't do this, then I'm either going to close you down or I'm going to give you fines. Then you leave and lose the 5 million I'm paying per month. So what I'll say, fine. I owe you 20 million. I pay my 5. So instead of paying 5, I'll be paying 5 plus 1 more. Give me
until
per month until I clear.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win. So instead of the 5 million I was paying, I'll be paying 5 or 6 or 7 or even
for the next 1 year.
For the next 1 year.
Until I clear. And
so you collect more.
Is the government listening to this language?
I am not so sure.
Because I sat here with Jeremiah Kioni and he made